I am a person that has never really liked the the sort of um, goofiness, silliness in the way spiritual ideas are presented. I just didn't think that it was effective, that it helped get a message through to people. And so, but this is, I am, there's a lot going on here that's very, very interesting. But I think what I should do is kind of start out with a story, just to make sure that we're all starting from the same place. And then we can sort of evolve or, go through this idea to try to understand exactly what is going on, or not exactly, but, uh, kind of put it together. Okay. Um, Aesop. Aesop was a Greek storyteller, and he would uh, tell people these stories called fables that were meant to be stories that would help people understand life a little bit better. Okay. Now I want you to understand that this is like a blow up for me mentally. Okay. Where I'm like going, wow, wow, this is interesting. So there's a story about the old man, the boy, and the donkey, right? And so what they have to do is they have to go on this trip to basically sell their. This is a farmer, has a farm and his wife and his child, and they have this. They're going to go on this trip. Because they have to sell their stuff, or the farmers market and make some cash and stuff like that, right? So they have their donkey, and they fucking they load up the donkey, and with all the stuff that they're going to take to town to go to the town that they're going to go sell it in, and they begin their journey, right? And so on this journey, oops, sorry, I got too close. I didn't realize I was getting excited. On this journey, they came up on this group of people that were murmuring and whispering, about other people, about them, and they could hear the hoi polloi, the murmurs of the crowd, the gossip, the rumors, and stuff like that. And the message that was being felt is that old man was really a bad man. That he was being really mean to his son. Because I mean it was hot and everything, and he's just a little kid, and so that sucks. And so they were getting a really bad vibe off of this, and so the old guy just went ahead and put his kid on the mule or the donkey or whatever the hell it was, beast of burden basically. So in order to satisfy the people, and all that bad energy that was going on, said, okay, I'm going to shut this crap down, and he puts the kid on the donkey, right? So then keep moving along, and they get into this other town, and all of a sudden, again, bad vibes, bad energy, but this time, there's like everybody's talking about that fucking little kid. Look at that brat. Who the hell does that? What is he? A little prince? Why doesn't he have any respect for his father? And that. Oh, and I mean, it's just really bad energy and stuff like that. So, the dad, like, or the old man's like, okay, I'm gonna have to fucking shut this shit down. And so he hopped on the donkey. Wow, they move into the next town. Once again, bad energy, bad energy. And so the people are talking. What about? Look at those assholes! Look at that donkey, fucking so overloaded with all this fucking shit, right? And so, they're just everybody's been going crazy. It's like you can't please everybody. It's like what's the solution here? So I mean, the weirdest thing, and it's so funny that I told a different story about something else to a friend just this earlier today, where they decided to carry the donkey You know, it's like on pole sticks, and they hog tied it, and they had the goods and stuff like that, right? And so they're crossing this bridge, and the donkey's is like freaking out, and then just the everything goes into the river, and they lose all their shit, and they have no money, and the donkey's over. They all fucking, I don't know what happens to them. Now, can't please everybody, can you? You can't please, but that's the moral of the story. You know, there's always gonna be fucking critics. You know, it's so funny that there's people that call themselves Christians, and they sort of fail to remember that's like one of the things. I mean, what happened? And he was being judged because he was a weird shit. I'm not saying I'm fucking Jesus. I'm just saying that, you know, there's a lot of people that think they're really superior, and they judge other people, you know, without knowing their fucking trip. And, you know, that's where we're at in the world, where we've gotten, you know, everybody's supposed to be an empath. Look, if you believe in a universal divine light, and I'm sorry, I should change that word. I'm not saying belief. If you know that universal light is there, if you know that, let me see, this is kind of coming together right now, so I got to think of this. You know what? I'm not going to go there yet. I'm not going to go there. I'm going to stop, because if I was supposed to go there, I should have gone there. Okay, but no. Well, what I'm trying to say is, you know, the lessons, I guess, if I understand it, you know, it's like you have to have empathy for people. You have to understand that everybody goes through their own shit. It doesn't matter what it is, you know, but the truth of the matter is that if you have faith in the universal divine light, then you know that laws don't exist. You know that. You know that it is possible, because we are creatures of light, to be able to move our environment. Nobody needs to control us. See, what's going on is that, you know, there's all this unhappiness and all this frustration, and you know, and fear, and like, you know, basically just really bad energy. You know, there's a lot of bad energy out there. It's not, you know, life isn't normal right now. I'm not talking about, you know, anything in specific, but you know, those of you who are sensitive, I guess, will understand what I'm saying. There's a lot of bad energy, angry, judgment. You know, it's like shit's getting out of hand, where people think that they have the right to judge, and then they call themselves Christians, and they, you know, and like the first thing that they're told is like, dude, you know, it's not your fucking place to do this, you know. So people are not, the message has gotten lost, and the reason the message has gotten lost is because it's not enough to fucking talk this shit. You gotta do it. And that's what the universal divine light is all about. See, it doesn't have any fucking tribe. It doesn't have any flag. It doesn't have any particular preferences in any way whatsoever. And if you actually had faith in that divine light, you would be a decent human being. And you wouldn't be playing fucking games, and, you know, everybody has their own trip. Everybody has their own path that they have to walk through. And it's so weird that a song that I like, and if you haven't heard it, you can go back. It's by The who are right now, of course, sort of on their final leg, and, you know, the whole Zach Starkey stuff, and that blow up there. And the song is called The Seeker. It's a person who lives in life, you know, trying to find an answer. And I've been that person. And so when at one point in your life, you have to come to a resolution with that quest, to find the answer. And it's a hard thing to do. And so a lot of people just give up and they hang their hat on a religion, and say, well, I'm going to go along with this. And, if I say that I'm this, then, people will be nice to me. It's a kind of a cowardly way to, to look at life, when you get tired and you say, well, I don't have time. And, in my entire life, it's kind of been me, and I've had my breakthrough moment where all of a sudden that question wasn't a question anymore. I found the answer, but at a tremendous expense, and an expense that most people wouldn't go through. And I'm not like trying to put myself, it's just, that's my fucking journey. So it's really interesting. It's really interesting. And, hope this helps out. We'll see what happens. And I'm doing it with a regular, this is all just very interesting to me, but, I hope the story and some of this is like help, and, I might come and create like this montage with that song and stuff. We'll see. But, have a great one. Have a great one.